You wake up every day feeling like a ghost in your own home. Your thoughts aren't even yours anymore. Your energy's drained. Your confidence is shattered. And every move you make feels like walking through a minefield. This isn't just toxic, guys. This isn't just manipulation. This is living with a deathly narcissist. This is a person who consumes everything that you are, leaving behind nothing but an empty shell. And if you're trapped in a world like this right now, you already know what I'm talking about. But here's the real question. How do you escape? Today I'm breaking down the 3 stages of living with a deathly narcissist or psychopath and how to reclaim your life before it's too late. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Psychopath Exposure. My name is Kita, and we talk about psychopaths and narcissists, borderline personality disorder, toxic relationships, and even addicts. Sometimes criminally insane, deranged sociopaths as well. But today we're talking about the 3 stages of living with a deathly narcissist. So let's just jump right in. Part 1 is the illusion, falling into the trap. See, at first, the narcissist was everything you ever wanted. Charming, attentive, even addictive. They mirrored you, made you feel seen, made you believe that this was fate, that you guys were twin flames, soulmates even. But it wasn't love. It was a trap. You weren't meeting them. You were meeting a custom-built illusion designed to pull you in, to make you emotionally dependent on them. And once you were hooked, well, that's when the real nightmare began. That's when the real nightmare began. You ever notice how a narcissist starts treating you differently the moment they know that they have you? That's not an accident, guys. That's the plan. That was the plan all along. And it's a pattern that these psychopath narcissists follow if you study them carefully. The second part of living with a deathly narcissist is the erasure. It's when you stop existing to them. Now is when the mask drops. You're no longer their fantasy like you were at the beginning. Now you're their prisoner. They isolate you from friends, from family, from anyone who could help. They erode your confidence. Insults disguised as jokes. Criticisms disguised as help. Oh boy, that one sure brings back memories. They manipulate your reality. Gaslighting, silent treatments, cruel mind games. Everything you once were, they completely strip away. You start to question yourself. You start thinking, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I should try harder. Maybe if I just love them more, they'll change. You guys ever done that? You've doubled down on the narcissist that suddenly didn't want you anymore, that suddenly devalued everything that you did, that suddenly started withholding sex and intimacy from the relationship. And you thought to yourself, well, maybe if I just love her more, maybe if I just buy her more diamonds, maybe if I just try a little harder to make this work and allow her to get away with murder, maybe she'll love me back one day. You ever did that? I did. How'd it work out for you? Just as bad as it worked out for me, huh? Yup, that's why we're here. So let me be brutally honest with you guys, as I usually am. The narcissist, the psychopath, will never change. The longer you stay, the more of you disappears. Let me repeat that. The longer you stay in that toxic, abusive relationship with a psychopath narcissist, the more of you, your real self, starts to disappear. You won't even know who you are by the time this is over, guys. You will not have an identity, which is what happens to victims of narcissistic abuse. When they lose that identity, they turn to the narcissist to tell them what their identity truly is. That's when the narcissist really has you, because now they can just tell you whatever they want and you're going to buy into it. It's part of the gaslighting too, where they warp your reality. You don't know what reality is anymore. You're so trauma bonded and under that spell that you just turn to the narcissist for answers. The very same person that put you in that spell, the very same person that's the cause of your misery and your suffering, is the person you're turning to for advice, for help, and for direction. How does that make sense? Logically, makes no sense. But when you're under the toxic spell of a narcissist, this is what we do. This is what I did. Short-lived, but I did it. Damage was done. Some of you are in these toxic, abusive relationships for 5, 10, 20 years. More even. Some of you are only in this for a few weeks. That's more than enough, let me tell you. More than enough when you've gotten involved with a psychopath narcissist. The poison that they put into your veins, boy, let me tell you, doesn't matter how long it is. Once that poison's in there, good luck. So, at the end of the story comes the third part, the escape. You got to get out before it's too late, guys. I say it all the time. Cut your losses and go. Because here's the truth, that most people don't want to hear this stuff. You just don't leave a deathly narcissist. And I call him a deathly narcissist because it's like you're dating the Grim Reaper. Okay? It's like you're sleeping with the devil. You have to escape. And escape, it's not just physical. It's mental. The hold that the psychopath narcissist has on their victims is psychological. I know there are some domestic abusive psychopathic relationships out there. We can call them psychopathic relationships. But it's the psychological. That's the part that truly damages you, because your wounds will heal. Your physical wounds will heal. But the trauma is psychological, and that could last forever. So you got to stop explaining yourself. Every time you try to defend yourself from the narcissist, they just twist it against you. You have to stop engaging in their mind games, guys. That's a game you can't win. Get outside. Get support from the outside, because they have isolated your inner circle. They've isolated you from your friends and family. You might need to seek help outside, whether it's other friends, right? Or working with a therapist, a coach like me. I have a coaching program. I've been working with survivors of narcissistic abuse for years. You might need to see people, that are not directly linked to you, so they can actually tell you what's going on without holding back, and tell you the truth in a way where you're not going to get offended. Because if your best friend tells you that your husband or your wife is a psychopath narcissist and that they're this and this and that, you're probably going to get defensive. But if a perfect stranger that doesn't know you and doesn't owe you any loyalties can just tell you, look, man, I don't know you. I've got no interest in this, but I'm telling you how it is. This is the way I see it. This is what's going on. It's not personal. This is what's going on. All right, peace out. Do what you want with this information. You're not going to take it personally. You might start to think, damn, he might be onto something. But first things first, guys, you got to go no contact. You got to block them. You got to delete them from your phone. You got to burn the bridge and never look back. I know that's hard for a lot of you, but I also know that it's harder to stay in a toxic, abusive relationship with a psychopath narcissist. So the choice is yours. And if no contact is not possible, then you have to gray rock them to death. Okay? Be boring. Be as boring as possible. Give them nothing. Starve the narcissist and their fragile little ego of the fuel that they crave, of the narcissistic supply that they crave. Starve them of it. There is no other way, guys. You're not going to win this by staying with them. You're not going to win this by having a long, deep conversation with your abuser. You're not going to talk your way out of this abuse. You have to take action. You got to get out of that situation. I don't know anybody that has stayed with a psychopath narcissist that has somehow healed and the relationship has blossomed and they're happier than ever. They're full of crap. They tell you that. And believe me, this is one thing that people do not pretend. You know how people on social media pretend that they're so happy and they post all these pictures, but they're really on the brink of divorce. When you're dating an abusive person, like you can see through the facade. You can see in the pictures that person is suffering. You can't really fake it. So don't lie to yourself. You're not going to convince me. Don't do it to yourself. So if you're living with a deadly, demented, deranged, psychopathic, sociopathic, narcissistic predator, you have to know that this is not a good life. This isn't a life at all. It's pure survival. You're running on, you know how people say you're running on fumes? You're running on cortisol. That's what you're running on. But I promise you, there is a way out. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And you can rebuild yourself and rebuild your life. If you guys have survived the narcissistic relationship, leave a comment below. Let me know your story. What was your breaking point? What finally made you escape physically and mentally? What made you escape? Let's help others see the truth, because I know a lot of people are stuck. They don't believe that they can do this, but they need to see it. They need to read it. They need to hear it. Well, share this video with someone that needs to hear this stuff. You never know whose life you're going to save. Pay it forward. And if you're ready to break free for good, again, I have a private one-on-one coaching program to help survivors just like you heal and reclaim your life back. I have a link below in the description. Click on that. Check it out. You don't have to live in their darkness anymore. All right? Take your power back. Take control back from the narcissist. And learn to live your life. Learn to live a good life. Again. Before you go, be sure to check out this video right here about what is a narcissist. If this is your first time in this community and you want to start experiencing these eye-opening little nuggets of wisdom, check out that video. It's a good starting point. NPD 101, Narcissism 101, so you can start to understand that this is a pattern that all of these broken, I like to call them demented individuals do to good people in the world. All right, so check that out, and be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the video if this is your first time here. And I believe there's a chance for everyone to get out of this situation if they really want it. And no matter how dire it may seem now, as long as you keep it in your head, hey, and you start visualizing, You see yourself happy, you see yourself getting in shape again and rebuilding your business and getting a new place. And I know it sounds impossible. I know it sounds impossible, but you have to keep that vision. You have to keep moving forward. It's a sink or swim situation. Okay? Do not be like the scorpion and the frog. Do not be like any of those. Okay? You got to swim. Otherwise, you're going to sink. And no one, believe me, no one is coming to save you.